Let's continue with section B of this paper. So what is the value of digit 5 in 57690? So do take note when they ask for value, it's different from, let's say they ask you for place value. Okay, so almost the same, but they mean different things. If they ask for place value, then they are asking things like, oh, is this at the ones place, tens place, 100 place, 1000 place, or 10,000 place? Okay, so that is place value. But when they ask you for value, then it's about numbers. Okay, so in this case, you take a look. Your 5 is actually in your 10,000 place, which means it's actually 50,000. That is the value of the 5 inside here, 50,000. Okay. Next one, fill in the blank with the correct number in the number pattern below. So 850 to 825, you can go and subtract it. You will realize it's minus 25. 825 to 800 minus 25 once again. And let's continue to minus 25. So 800 minus 25. You will have, okay, 0 cannot minus 5. So let's borrow all the way from the 8, which will give you 7, 9, 10. 10 minus 5, you get 5. 9 minus 2. Okay, so let me just cancel it so that you don't get confused by the 0. Okay, 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 2 is 7. 7 minus nothing is 7. So you have 775. And just do a quick check whether if you minus 25 will give you 750. And yes, it does. Okay, so 775. Question 8. How many 1/8 are there in one whole? So 1/8, it means 1 over 8. Okay? One whole, you must remember one whole is always same numerator, same denominator. It depends on how many parts you want to cut it, right? If you cut it into one part, it's 1 out of 1. You cut it into two parts, it's 2 out of 2, right? So, for example, right, like this circle, I cut in 2 parts. When I'm talking about one whole, let me try to cut it a bit more. Like half. When I try to cut it into 2 parts, when I talk about one whole, it's actually everything, 2 out of 2, right? Which I also can cut into 3 parts. It is 3 out of 3. So for instance, I try to cut into 3 equal parts. Okay, something like this. It's also 3 out of 3, 4 out of 4, so on and so forth. Okay. Now, if right here total they want like how many 1/8, then you should cut into 8 parts, right? So if you cut into 8 parts, your one whole should be 8 out of 8. Okay, how many 1/8 are there in 8 out of 8? You should have 8 of them, isn't it? Okay, so your answer is just 8. Next one, question 19. Find the value of taking 1 whole minus 1/5 minus 1/10. Okay, so now remember for fraction, when you want to minus or plus, you need to make them the same denominator. Okay, so to make the same denominator, you should try to change your 5 to 10, because you know that you can actually multiply by 2, top and bottom, you can make it to 10. Whereas for your one whole, remember I tell you your one whole, just remember same numerator, same denominator. In this case, you make into 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 minus 2 out of 10 minus 1 out of 10. So 10 minus 2 minus 1 is the same as 10 minus 3, which you get 7 over 10. So your answer is 7 over 10. Question 20. Write 6 thousandths as a decimal. So remember with the TH, okay, thousands with the TH is actually the one that is behind the decimal point. Okay, another way we can interpret this is actually 6 over 1,000. Okay, so 6 over 1,000 is the same as 0.006. Okay, remember this is your tens place after the decimal point. This is your hundredth place, and this is your thousandth place. Okay, let me teach you something that you will learn in P5 first, which is when you take 6 over 1,000, it's actually the same as 6 divided by 1,000. Okay, if you divide by 1,000, you have 3 zeros for your 1,000. You will shift the decimal point 3 times, okay, towards your left. So like 1, 2, 3, and then your decimal point is going to be here. So it's 0 point. Okay, imagine I add a 0 here. Then on top of this curve is a 0. On top of this curve is a 0, and on top of this curve you already have a 6, right? So it's 0.006. Okay, when you divide like this. So your final answer is 0.006. 21. Round 13.55 to the nearest whole number. So nearest whole number means my final answer shouldn't have any decimal anymore, right? So make sure your final answer doesn't have any decimal anymore. So what are we going to look at? We are actually going to look at our 10th place, the one in your decimal, in your first decimal, in your one decimal place, okay, which is your 5. In this case, the 5 right next to the decimal point. So if it's 5, you're going to round up. If you round up, the digit you circle plus 1. So it's going to be just 14 whole, okay, without any decimal at the back. So it's 14. Okay, let me just give you an example to revise with you a round off. Let's say I have 13.45. If I were to round off the nearest whole number for this one, okay, same concept. I actually look at my 10th place, which is 4. So if it's 4, because it's 4, anything that is 4, 3, 2, 1 or 0, round down. If you round down, remember, you don't change anything to the digit you circle. It just stay as the same. Okay, only when you round up, right, the digit that you circle here, it will plus 1. Remember that. Okay, for question 22, arrange the numbers from the smallest to the greatest. Okay, to prevent careless mistakes for the comparison here, always try to write your decimals from top to the bottom, okay, in order. So for example, 0.414, 6.4. Okay, if it ends there, just add 0, 0. You can just add zeros at the back behind the decimal. So next one, 0.604, and the last one is 0.089. First of all, let's compare here, right? Can you see the one with the 6? It must be the greatest, right? So take a look. Greatest is here, yeah? 6.400. Okay, once this is done, then you should totally cancel this, so don't let this distract you anymore. Next one, we're going to compare the 10th place, okay? 460, definitely the next greatest, it must be the one with the 6, right? So the next greatest, I'm going to write here, 0.604. Okay, and then I'm going to cancel this. Next, I'm just going to compare, okay, this and this. Now, if you compare this and this, still at your 10th place, can you see this 4 and the 0? So definitely the next biggest is 0.414 and the smallest is 0.089. Okay, so all these are your answers for question 22. Okay, question 23, write the decimal represented by A. So you have 0.4 here and 0.5 here, and in between there are actually 10 gaps. Okay, let's see, is it really 10 gaps? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, if it's 10 gaps, it's really easy. Okay, everything just increased by a value of 0.01. Okay, 0.4, 0 is this 0.4 is the same as 0.40. So the next one, if you increase, is 0.41, 0.42, 0.43, so on and so forth. The one at the middle here, 0.45, and then 0.46, 0.47, 0.48. Okay, so your A should be 0.48. Question 24, I am a number greater than 20 but less than 40. I'm a multiple of 2 and a factor of 56. What number am I? Okay, so for this question, you need to focus on all the clues here. Okay, multiple of 2, you can list out. So greater than 20, I'm going to start with 22. Okay, cannot start with 20 because it must be greater than 20. 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, and I need to stop here because less than 40, I cannot count 40 already. Okay, factor of 56, that means that number, okay, you can use 56, divide the number. So you ask yourself, can you take 56 divided by 22? Cannot. Okay, out. Can you take 56 divided by 24? Cannot. Can you take 56 divided by 26? You can try. Cannot. And what about 28? So 28, if you were to try, right, you can try 28 times 2. Okay, you will realize you can get 56. So your factors of 56 actually is 1 times 56 and also 2 times 28. Okay, so yeah, 28 is actually a factor of 56. Okay, and it's also a multiple of 2. So the answer, okay, here is 28. Question 25. The bus A arrives at the bus stop at every 9 minutes. Bus B arrives at the same bus stop at every 12 minutes. Both buses arrive at the bus stop at 1 p.m. When will these two buses arrive at the same bus stop at the same time again? So for this type of question, for them to arrive at the same time again is looking at the multiples, okay? Lowest common multiple between 9 minutes and 12 minutes. So let's take a look at the multiples, but give you a tip, it's actually faster if you work with the number that is bigger, which is your multiple of 12. Okay, so you list out the multiple of 12. 12 times 1, 12. 12 times 2, 24. 12 times 3, 36. And you ask yourself, okay, is this also a multiple of 9? It's not. So they are not going to meet at the 12 minute. Is this also a multiple of 9? No. So that means the bus is never going to reach at the 24th minute for bus A as well. Now, 36, is this a multiple of 9? Then you realize, yes, because 9 times 4, right? Every 9 minutes, 9, 9, 9, 9. The fourth time the 9 minute occur is the 36 minute. And that's when bus A will arrive. Bus B will also arrive, right? So we know it's at the 36 minute. Since they first meet each other at 1 p.m., they will meet each other again at the same time in the next 36 minutes. Okay, 1 p.m., 36 minutes later is 1:36 p.m. So that's your answer, 1.36. Okay, this is in 12-hour clock. So remember to write your decimal point. Okay, next one, 26. It is a square here and we want to find angle x. Very easy, huh? For a square, you must know 90 degrees, okay, is the angle that is at the corner. So x plus 39 must give you 90. So you take 90 minus away 39 to get your x. Okay, this one you can do your working out and you should get the answer of 51 degrees. Next one, name the angle that is equal to 135 degrees. Okay, if you take a look, if you want to begin from, let's say 0, you realize this question cannot work because if you look like this, okay, you start from 0 means you look at the outer scale, right? You look all the way until here is about 155, which is not 135, right? So let's try another one. If let's say I were to look from here, okay, whereby I start from 0, okay, you must make sure you start from 0 all the way. That means I'm looking at my inner scale. Here is actually at my 160. It's not 135 either. Okay, so what if I look at this, like this? So same thing, I start from 0, I go all the way, okay, at your inner scale, you get in between 120 and 110 is actually 115. It's not 135 either. So also cannot. So what you can do is actually you look at the lines that don't start at 0. You start like somewhere in between. So let's perhaps take a look at this with this. Okay, if you take a look at this, that means let's say we look at the outer scale starting from here, 0 to 20, this is 20 degrees, right? If I were to continue looking at my outer scale all the way up to this part, is actually 155 degrees. So in between, okay, from here to here is 155 degrees minus away 20 degrees, you get 135 degrees, which is what they want. Hence, the angle is angle G. Don't forget your B. Angle is always made up of 3 alphabets, okay? So you cannot just tell me GD. It must be G, B, D. That's your answer. All right. Next one. Use a ruler to draw the line of symmetry in the figure. So line of symmetry, you must make sure you cut exactly into half and you can fold it nicely. So just use pencil. If you get it wrong, it's okay. So line of symmetry usually occur at a few different areas. Like one very common one is here. You can check. Is your left side equals to right side? You realize it's no, right? Because this two shaded, but this one you have unshaded and shaded. So then you can try perhaps, cutting in the middle here. Then you realize here and here, they don't match up. Then you can try diagonally. This is also something that is quite often. That's the line of symmetry for diagonal lines. So let's try diagonal lines. Okay, let's see. Does it cut nicely? You realize this part here and this part here, they don't match up, okay, when you try to fold it in. So it's not as well. Okay, what about the other diagonal line here? Can you see that this is equal to this on the other side? Left side equals to right side, left side equals to right side. Same thing here, equals to here. So it can actually fold up nicely. So this is your line of symmetry. Okay, remember to use ruler. Next one, we have a graph question. The graph shows the different flavors of cupcakes sold in a shop on a certain day. So chocolate, okay, let's take a look at the axis here first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, very nice axis whereby it's just increase of one interval is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Okay, so if this is 25, the next number, the next interval, you go up one level is 26. This one, if you see it carefully, it is just 20. And then for strawberry is 16. For lemon is 10. How many more chocolate cupcakes were sold compared to strawberry cupcakes? So they are asking for the difference, right? How many more? So chocolate, I have 26. Strawberry, I have 16. So how many more? That is actually 26 minus 16, 10 more. The cupcakes were sold at 4 for $9. How much was the sale of the cupcakes on that day? Now remember, when they say cupcakes are sold at $4, they never specify it must be like chocolate cupcakes sold for $4 for $9 or like vanilla cupcakes sold for $4 for $9. So when they say just cupcakes, right, it can be any cupcake. It can be like chocolate combined with vanilla, vanilla combined with strawberry, and so on and so forth. So please do not like take 26 divided by 4 times 9 or 20 divided by 4 times 9. Don't do it individually, okay? Because you can mix around. So you should try to combine them by first adding all the different cupcakes and find out how many there are first. Okay, I trust that you can do the calculation for this. So if you were to do the calculation correctly for this, you should have 72 cupcakes. 72 cupcakes, if I were to sell in groups of 4, I want to know how many groups I can sell. You will take 72 divided by 4. You do all your long division, you get 18. 18 groups that you can sell. Each group is $9, so 18 times $9. Okay, same thing, you do out your working, you should get the answer of $162. Okay, that is the sales of the cupcakes on that day. Next one, 31, we have the perimeter of the square room is 32 meters. So remember, perimeter of a square is length plus length plus length plus length. Okay, 4 of the length give you the perimeter of 32 meters. So the first thing you can find is one length, right? You take 32 meters, you divide by 4, that will give you 8 meters for the length. If the length is 8 meters, they ask you to find the area. Remember, the formula for area is length times length. For square, the length are the same. So 8 times 8, which will give you 64 meters square. Okay, next one. We have 32. A rectangular floor measures 10 meter by 6 meter. Okay, so you can try to draw it out, okay, to kind of make sense of the question. Length is 10 meter, breadth is 6 meter. Covered with a carpet at a cost of $150 per square meter. Per square meter, what is square meter? Square meter means meter square. So that is talking about area. They are saying, by the way, when they say per is 1. So they are saying 1 meter square is $150. Okay, so to get to area, what should we do? We should take length times breadth will give us the area of this rectangular floor. So 10 meter times 6 meter, 60 meter square. This is 60 meter square. So 60 meter square, how much will it cost to cover the whole floor? Okay, if 1 meter square is $150, 60 meter square is 150 times 60. Okay, to make this calculation a lot easier, okay, consider doing this. Just take 15 times 6 first. Then later you add the 2 zeros behind your answer. That will be your final answer. Okay, let me show you. So we have 15 times 6, which you have 5 times 6 is 30. 1 times 6 is 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. So you have 90, right? Then remember to add the 2 more zeros, okay, which we did not include in our calculation earlier. And that will give us $9,000. Next, let's take a look at 33. They say rectangle D and square E have the same area. Find the perimeter of rectangle D. Okay, if they have the same area, let's find out the area first. If this is a square, I know the length is 12. Okay, the other length is also going to be 12. All the length is 12. To find the area, remember is length times length. So it's 12 cm times 12 cm, which will give you 144 cm square, which is the area here for the square, as well as for the rectangle, which they mentioned earlier on. Okay, now if you know the area of the rectangle is 144, okay, and you know the breadth, you can actually find the length, because length times breadth give you the area 144, which means length times 6 is 144, right? The reverse of it to find the length, okay, instead of times, now opposite is divide. So you take 144 cm square, you divide by 6 cm, you will get the length. So you do the long division, you should get the length of 24 cm. Okay, 24 cm. Now, once you know the length is 24 cm, now you want to find the perimeter. So perimeter is the outline, which we should have 2 length for the rectangle, and we should have 2 breadth, right? So I am going to take 24 plus 6 plus 24 plus 6. 24 plus 6, very easy, 30. Okay, 24 plus 6, 30. If I calculate this way, quite easy for me to get the answer, which is 60. Okay, so 60 cm. Question 34, we have Alice was given $3 pocket money every day in a week. She spent $2.70 each day from Monday to Friday and saved the rest. Now, bear in mind that this pocket money is the total money she has every day. Out of this total money, some she saved and some she spent. Okay, so if she spent $2.70 each day, that means how much would she save? Save each day must be her money that she get minus what she spent. Okay, $3 minus $2.70. Okay, just to revise with you, to do the subtraction, you should put 3.00. Then you can minus 2.70. Okay, 0 minus 0, 0. 0 cannot minus 7, borrow. So borrow from 2, now here become 10. 10 minus 7, you get 3. 2 minus 2 is just 0. So end up, you should have 30 cents is what she saved every day. She saved all her pocket money on Saturday and Sunday. Okay, do take note what she saved, right, is only for Monday to Friday. So if one day she saved 30 cents, Monday to Friday we have 5 days. So it's 30 cents times 5. Okay, which you should get $1.50. Okay, this one you also can do out the working. If you're not sure, 0.30 times 5. Okay, which 5 times 0 is 0. 3 times 5 is 15. 0 times 5 is 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. So 150. She saved all her pocket money on Saturday and Sunday, which means she never spent anything, right? In other words, she is saving $3 on Saturday and $3 on Sunday. So together she saved $150 plus $3 plus $3. Okay, which I can actually $3 plus $3 first. I have $6 and I have $7.50 what she saved in a week. Okay, 35, we have Tim and Joey had some money. Tim had 5 times as much money as, Joel had, let me repeat this again. Tim and Joel had some money. Joel had 5 times as much money as Tim at first. After Joel spent $24.80, they had the same amount of money. Okay, he had the same amount of money as Tim. So this is a before and after question. So I can try to draw my model. Right, Joel to Tim. Joel had 5 times first, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And team will be something like that. Okay, Joel spent 24.80, then we have the same amount. So that means whatever he spent, he must spend until same as team here. So this is the part that he spent, 24.80. And this will be your end model. Okay, so in other words, you should know that 4 units is equals to $24.80. To find 1 unit is $24.80 divided by 4. Okay, this one you can do your long division, not an issue, which you should have $6.20. So each unit here is $6.20. And how much money did Joel have at first? Remember, Joel have at first is everything here, the 5 units, okay? So if 1 unit is $6.20, 5 units is 5 multiplied with $6.20. Okay, when you do the multiplication here, do take note your $6.20 must be on top and your 5 must be below, like this. Okay, you cannot like write like 5 times, 620 below, which the alignment, if it's off, you might get it wrong. Okay, so always write the decimal one on top, then the 5 below. Okay, this one I trust that you know how to do it. So if you times 5 correctly, you should get $31. Now let's take a look at 36. Mrs. Lee had 3 red ribbons and 1 blue ribbon. The blue ribbon was 0.6 meters shorter than the red ribbon. And the total length of the ribbons was 11.4 meters. Now, whenever you see the keyword shorter, longer, greater, less, more, comparison word, you can draw the model, right? So blue is shorter, I will draw smaller. Okay, shorter by 0.6 meter. Let me draw red now. So that means red must be 0.6 meter longer as well. Okay, I have blue, I have red. Let's see how many blue, how many red are there. 1 blue, 3 red. So I need to include 2 more red here, which I will have something like this. 0.6 meter, 0.6 meter. And altogether the total length is 11.4 meter. So how long was the blue ribbon, which is here? Okay, all the parts that are the same, like all these units here, you can actually label them as 1 unit each. And the question is asking for how long is the blue ribbon. We are actually finding 1 unit. Okay, so first of all, let me get rid of all this excess 0.6 meter first. I will take 0.6 times 3. Okay, you can do that. Working out, and that will give you 1.8. I'm going to take the total of 11.4 minus the excess of 1.8. And that will give you 9.6. And now once you're left with 9.6, is equals to the 4 units. So I am going to divide by 4 here, which you can do your long division. You should get 2.4. Okay, so 2.4. Okay, next one, section C.